of mountains, Shri Radha and Krishna sit on a couch. When accompanied by Lalita and Vishakha, will I jubilantly serve their reddish lotus feet? When will I take camphor and betel nuts from a golden box and place it in their lotus mouths? When will I place jewel ankle bells on their lotus feet? When will I fill a golden goblet for the divine couple? When will I anoint their beautiful limbs with aromatic sandal paste? When my spiritual master, in his original form as a gopi, at my left, will I fan their threefold bending forms with a charmer whisk? When seeing the lotus eyes of the divine couple, will the hairs of my body stand up in ecstasy? When will I directly touch their lotus feet? Narottam Das, who is a servant of Lord Chaitanya's servants, desires in this way, he has no other desire. So Narottam Das Thakur is meditating, he is doing Manasi Seva, as we were hearing yesterday of that Brahmana also. He was doing Manasi Seva in his mind. So the service in the mind is equally potent, and we can, offer this to Krishna in our mind. Like here, Narottam Das Thakur is offering camphor, betel nuts, putting ankle bells on the lotus feet of Radha Krishna, putting sandalwood paste, fanning them, and washing their lotus feet like that. And he desires to serve them. So I think one verse that we read yesterday, I was seeing Mukundamala Stotra. He was saying that, so let me see this verse here. It's this one, I'll paste it. And the meaning of this verse, it says that our master, the personality of Godhead Narayan, who alone rules the three worlds, whom one can serve in meditation, and who happily shares his personal domain, is manifest before us. Yet still we beg for the service of some minor lord of a few villages, some lowly man who can only meagerly reward us. Alas, what foolish wretches we are. So he's saying that Krishna is the master of the three worlds, and even if you render service in your mind to Krishna, Krishna will accept it, and he will share his abode with you. He'll give you the position in Vaikuntha. But it's so unfortunate that for a little bit of sense gratification, I'm serving lowly masters. Like I think Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says, right, in his song, Kripana Durajana. Bifala sevinu kripana durajana chapala sukhalabha lagire. So, for a fraction of flickering happiness, I have been uselessly serving wicked and miserly men. So, Krishna is the best master. We serve him, he gives so much to us. I mean, he can give, but of course, the devotee is not desiring anything in return for his service. He wants to do his service unconditionally, and that's what satisfies him. Savapam samparo dharma yatho bhakti dokshuje ahetu ki pratihata ye atma suprasidhati. Yes, Prabhu, you would like to add something?
No, it's I was thinking of the same thing yesterday when Bifali Shevin Kripana. That's not by Bhaktivinoda Thakur.
Oh, that I always think it's by Bhaktivinoda. It's by Govinda, right?
So, we want to serve everybody also, but we want to serve them by giving Krishna. Engaging everybody in Krishna's service. So that's the desire. But this desire to get something in return for some. I mean, Krishna can give us unlimited happiness, and for Chapala Sukha we have to worship so many other people. Bhavana. Who are not worthy of being served. Right? Even Sukadeva Goswami says there is a verse like that, that why should I flatter rich people when their nature has provided everything, right? Krishna has provided nature. Why should I flatter people if there is tree bark says, of course we can't use that, like, and my hand is pillow, tree bark says my clothes, and aren't there in discarded cloth, right? There are caves to reside. Why should I? But, we are working. So, somebody will say, well, you are not following this, right? You are working for some people in a job who are not worthy of, who are eating beef, and you are serving all these people in a company. So yeah, because we have our needs to fulfill in this world. Ideally, we can directly serve Krishna by serving the temple, and then you don't have to worry about actually. But because we think our needs will not be met, so we have to serve outside so many people who are not being worthy of being served. Correct? Is that what you say?
Yeah, but when we do the work, we should think that we're doing this for Krishna, right?
No, I'm just saying that's correct, but I'm just saying about I have taken the service of wicked and miserly men, right? That's that part I'm just saying here. That Vifale Shevinu Kripada Durjana. Like in this verse also is saying that I'm serving the landlords, right? He was saying yesterday. I'm serving some small landlords instead of serving the big master.
Yeah, for a little bit of sense gratification.
Right.
So if we are doing it for sense gratification, yeah, then we are serving them. But if we are using the fruits of our work for serving Krishna, then
Yes. Yes, there is there. Correct. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
yeah, I can share in past time. Mahadev is known as the greatest Vaishnava and is very fond of serving Lord Sri Krishna. Once, when the Ras Leela pastime of Lord Krishna with the gopis was about to take place, Mahadev developed a desire to watch the dance. Being very eager with this desire in his heart, Mahadev travelled to Vrindavan but was stopped by some gopis at the entrance. During the Ras Leela, no other male person except Lord Krishna is allowed to be present. Mahadev was very determined to enter Vrindavan to witness the Ras Leela and inquired how he might be allowed to see Krishna dancing with Radharani and all other gopis. The gopis advised him that he should worship Purnamashi Devi. Only by her mercy can one enter into the arena of the Ras Leela. Following the advice of the gopis, Mahadev worshipped Purnamashi Devi in order to please her and gain her permission to observe the Ras Leela. Purnamashi Devi was pleased with Mahadev's worship and took him by the hand to a nearby pond known as Brahmakund. After Mahadev dipped into this kund, he was transformed into a beautiful young gopi. Purnamashi Devi arranged for this gopi form of Mahadev to sit inside a kunja located at the northeast side of the Ras Leela area. At the proper time, Radha and Krishna came to the Ras Leela arena, and the sweet pastime of the Ras Leela with all the gopis began. The gopis did not feel as much happiness singing and dancing in the Ras Leela as usual, and they wondered what could be the reason. They felt that perhaps some outsider who was not qualified had entered into the area of the Ras Leela pastime. For this reason, maybe we are not feeling as much happiness as usual, they thought. The gopis then started to search out this unqualified person who may have entered the Ras Leela arena. They discovered Mahadev in his gopi form, sitting in one corner watching the Ras Leela. They did not recognize the gopi and realized she must be someone new. They inquired from Mahadev in his gopi form, "What is your name? Which village are you from? What is your husband's name? Who is your father-in-law?" Mahadev could not answer all the questions since he had not taken birth as a gopi in Raj. Yogamaya had neither arranged her birth from the womb of a gopi nor given her any name. This new gopi was not married to any gopa either, so what answers could she give? Not being able to provide any answers, Mahadev in his gopi form just started to cry helplessly. When Mahadev uh, could not give any answers, the gopis started to slap him on his cheeks. They slapped him so much that Lord Shiva's cheeks became swollen. Purnamashi was a witness to all of this as it happened, and seeing Mahadev in this miserable condition, felt very sympathetic. She went and explained to all the gopis how this particular gopi was there because of her special mercy. She explained to them how it was Lord Shiva in the form of a gopi and requested the gopis and Krishna to be merciful to her. Shri Krishna, knowing the internal desire of Purnamashi, gave Shankar the name Gopishwar and then allowed her to witness the Ras Leela. Krishna granted Mahadev a boon that any devotee who wishes to enter Vrindavan, especially into the sweet pastimes of Krishna, must receive the mercy of Gopeshwar Mahadev. So I was thinking how these gopis, they were feeling that they're not feeling that much happiness. That maybe there is someone who should not be here. Same as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to feel, right? When the milk drinking Brahmana was there one time, and when the mother-in-law of Srivas Thakur was there one time, and then one time when Advaita Acharya had taken dust from his lotus feet. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not feeling ecstasy at that time. Anything you want to add, Prabhu?
Yeah, so even Mahadev wants to see the last Leela. So everybody is eager to see Krishna's pastimes. So
Yeah, and he had to take a gopi swarup because nobody in the Purush Bhav can enter the Ras Leela pastime. Meaning that if we want to enjoy in this material world, we have this matlab Purush Bhav, like we are the enjoyers. We have to be in the gopi bhav, means I am to be enjoyed by Krishna, and I want to serve Krishna. Only in that bhav we can enter Ras Leela.
and we can enter Vrindavan also, right? That's also that Vishaya Chariya.
Vishuddha hobe man, kabhe hame hera bush vrindavan. Yeah.
And Lakshmi Devi also wanted to enter, but she was not allowed because she was in the Vaikuntha Bhav as the queen of Vaikuntha. This is the conversation that goes on between Venkatapata and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right? No, it's Venkatapata in South India, right? So she's at Belwan. She's doing tapasya to enter into Ras Leela. So unless you give up all your conceptions and you become servant, you're not allowed to enter. Gopi Pratu Bharatamala, your Dasa, Dasa, Das. Here also Narottam Das Thakur says that my spiritual master's servant, I will stand. And then he says, servant of Lord Chaitanya, servant. So when we are only in the mood of the servant, then we can, of the gopis, the Krishnas, then only by the mercy of the great souls we are allowed to enter. Like in that song, Radha Krishna Pranamura, that song he says, right? Dasanudas, Seva Pilasha, Shri Krishna Che,
Devabhilasha kore narottam dasa.
Yeah. So he says, I want to be the servant of the servant.
So also this Gopishwar Mahadev, we need to get his mercy to enter into the sweet pastimes of Vrindavan.
Vrinda Devi, Gopeshwar Mahadev, the spiritual master,
Lalita Sakhi and Govardhan and Raj.
Okay, so only with mercy we can. Even if we go to Vrindavan, we cannot see Vrindavan properly. So Nityananda Prabhu's mercy also. Araka Vinhitai Chanda Karuna Hoide Sansara Vasana Mura Kavitucha. Then Vishaya Chalina Kave Shudha Viman Kave. So once Vishaya is gone, then only we can see Vrindavan. And that happens by when the Prabhu is merciful to you. That the desires will go. We are also praying to Tulsi Devi every day. We are worshipping Tulsi. Please grant me residence in the pleasure groves of Vrindavan. Thus, within my vision, I will always be able to behold the beautiful pastimes of Radha and Krishna.
I was also here seeing this one video which said that how Kansa became the Kansini Gopi when he entered Vrindavan. Narad Muni also became Naradiya Gopi, right? I don't know what pastime is that, but he became Naradiya Gopi.
That is when Narada also wrote Narada Pati Sutras. I think there is, let's see, Naradiya Gopi. Narad Muni in Vrindavan. Narad Muni becomes a Gopi. Let's see here. Bhagavatam Katha. So, I can read it. So, located about 400 meters to the south of east of Kusum Sarovar, there is a pond called Narad Kund dedicated to Narad Muni. According to Vedas, when Narad Muni heard about the goddess of Rasans and Gopi Bhav from Vrinda Devi, he felt a strong desire to serve Lord Krishna and Radharani in the form of a Gopi. Said so after getting the Gopal mantra from Lord Brahma, he started his meditation. After meditating for years, he was blessed by Yoga Maya Purnamasi Devi, and with her blessing, he took a dip in Kusum Sarovar and entered the body of a Gopi. Thus, he qualified to perform the service of Lord Krishna. On seeing Naradji in the form of Gopi, Shri Krishna advised him to stay at Naradvan in Vrindavan and write the Bhakti Shastra, and told him that the curse of Daksha, according to his Narad, would not stay at single place, would not apply in Vrindavan, as it's not part of the materialistic world. Narad Muni was cursed by Daksha because Narad Muni made all the sons of Daksha brahmacharis. And so he was very angry. He said, you will never have the comfort of family life, you always have to travel. Which was a blessing in disguise for Narad Muni, because if you stay at one place, you can get attached. So you just travel and preach like that. And a lot of people you can get exposed to Krishna consciousness. So, as advised by Lord Krishna, Narad Muni decided to stay at the place he had Narad Kund meditating. He wrote his thesis on devotional service to the God in the form of Narad Bhakti Sutra. So there is Narad Kund, which is close to Kusum Sarovar, where Narad Muni wrote the Narada Bhakti Sutras. Near to the Kund, there is a small temple dedicated to Narad Muni. According to Narad Purana, when Narad first heard that Lord Krishna had appeared in Vrindavan, he wandered Vrindavan's 12 forests looking for any sign of his beloved Lord. Actually, he found out Krishna has appeared, then he thought Radharani also must have appeared. So he went looking around to find who has given birth to a daughter. And then he came to the house of Rishabhanu. And then you know the story how Rishabhanu had a son, right? And then he asked if he had a daughter also. And
Right. They
Sridham
didn't
was
want.
also. Sridham.
Mhm. They didn't want to mention her because she would not open her eyes or like was dumb and deaf.
And then, yeah, then Narad Muni had a
And
private meeting with Radharani.
yeah, he saw the Kishori form of Radharani and offered obeisances. It's in that book. Yeah.
Yeah, glories of Srimati Radharani. With great intensity, he ran through the secret bowers in which Krishna would meet with the gopis, his powerful friends, but he could not find any evidence of Krishna's appearance. So this is his trying to find Krishna. Vrinda Devi, a prominent gopi who helps arrange Krishna's friend, who with his girlfriends appeared before Narada in secret meeting. So Vrinda Devi makes arrangements. Appeared before Narada and told him that to see such esoteric pastimes, he would have to adopt the mood and form of loving gopi himself. This was possible, she said, only for the most advanced practitioners of spiritual life. Vrinda Devi told Narada that he was one such soul and could affect such change by bathing in a nearby pond known as Kusum Sarovar. Narada did as Vrinda Devi instructed and emerged from the waters as gopi named Naradi. Of course, it is like they have a female form, but the thing is the consciousness, as you were saying. He was thus able to see Vrindavan with new eyes and enter into Krishna's pastimes with coward girls. Actually, female form means Prakriti, means we are meant to be enjoyed by Krishna. That's basically the mentality. Later, Vrinda Devi instructed him to bathe in another pond, which came to know as Narad Kund, and he assumed his male form. So Kusum Sarovar, he took bath and he became Naradiya Gopi. Then, after seeing the pastimes, then he, or maybe he also entered into Krishna's pastime, and then he became Narad Muni again. Again he came to Narad Kund, and he bathed in Narad Kund and he became Narada. The Narad Purana says that the lesson to be learned from this episode that even a great sage Narada must meditate on Vrindavan in the intense mood of a gopi to attain the highest level of fame. Love for Krishna. Such meditation is possible only for the most accomplished devotees. Narada one is near Kusum Sarovar. Narad Muni said to wrote the Narada Bhakti Sutras. He performed tapasya after being instructed by Lord Shiva to do so. He desired to witness the inconceivable pastimes of Radha and Krishna, but he could not do so because he was in a male body. The story of Narada at this place is told in the Bhakta Ratnakar. After being blessed by Vrinda Devi, he took a female body after bathing in Kusum Sarovar. He then witnessed the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Radha. It's the same. So at Narada Kund, there is a small temple of Narada Muni with friendly pujaris. Narada instructed Prahlad Maharaj here in the womb of his mother. Since it is said that he took her to his ashram and instructed little Prahlad in her womb for some time. In any other place, it would not be possible for Narada to stay for some time, and it's concluded he must have done it. So in the material world, only the curse had effect of Daksha, but Vrindavan is the spiritual world, so the curse of Daksha did not have effect, and he would stay there. Okay. The gopis are slapping Mahadev, and Mahadev speaks yes.
And he starts to cry.
Right. Purnamasi comes to rescue.
Yeah, even like I posted that video of when Kansa entered Vrindavan to kill Krishna, Radharani made him into a gopi. So there is Kansini gopi also.
Let's see that. Is it long or is it shorter?
minutes, but we can 7 minutes.
Okay, we can see maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
So why did Kans come to Vrindavan?
Oh, because all the demons were being killed, so he wanted to kill Krishna.
So he
And
personally came,
personally wanted to kill Krishna, yeah.
and then okay, then the gopis beat him up, right?
Yeah, and he had to do all the stuff that gopis do. Make cow dung patties, and he was miserable.
Yeah, that's a little new pastime, right? It's in some scripture.
Yeah, this is from the Hare Krishna TV, so it is there somewhere. I have not read it.
Okay, we read some verses from Bhagavatam. Uh, let's see. Okay, I think we have read this. मन्यमानस्तात्मानं नष्टो नष्टमन्विषा नष्टे अहङ्कारेण दृष्ट नष्टवित्त इवातुरः. The living entity can vividly feel his existence as the seer, but because of the disappearance of the ego during the state of deep sleep, he falsely takes himself to be lost. Like a man who has lost his fortune and feels distressed, thinking himself to be lost. Seems purport. Only in ignorance does the living entity think that he is lost. If by attainment of knowledge he comes to the real position of his eternal existence, he knows that he is not lost. So we are not lost, we are lost when we are in Maya, we lose our real identity. We lose ourselves, but in Krishna consciousness, we know our position. An appropriate example is mentioned here. Nashta Vitta Ivaturaha. A person who has lost a great sum of money may think that he is lost, but actually he is not lost. Only his money is lost. But due to his absorption in the money or identification with the money, he thinks that he is lost. Because we think, yeah, it belonged to me and it's lost now. So that's why we think I lost, but nothing belongs to me. Krishna gave it to me for some time. He took it away. It's very difficult to feel like that when everything is taken away from you, your family, your relatives, and money and everything. So, but we may feel we are lost, but actually, not nothing. We are identifying with it. Like Prabhupada says, you hit me, but you hit my car. But you say you hit me. So in the same way, we are identifying with the car and we are identifying with the things as being belonging to me. So we think we are lost. Because in reality, we didn't bring anything. Right? So,
Yeah, until the car is in the car dealership, if it gets hit, right, we don't care. As soon as we possess the car and the car get hit, then we are hurt.
correct.
Because now we have started to identify it as mine.
Yeah, correct. Like so many children may be abused or hurt or injured. We don't feel like that so much. But with my child, because okay, it's coming from, because I think I am the owner of this child and child belongs to me. So if my child gets hurt, or my wife gets hurt, my husband gets hurt, my brother gets hurt, my sister, my father, my mother. So all my. So then we feel like, because I'm thinking, oh, they belong to me. So, but they belong to Krishna. Of course, there will be naturally some, it's not like devotee doesn't have emotions and like that. But ultimately, nothing belongs to us. We came naked and we are going naked. So that's how it is. If we know this, but because of the strong influence of Maya, we forget and we think this is mine, and then we lose it. So this whole material world, as you was reading, which is all meant to bring us, to frustrate us and to bring us. It's a correctional facility. Like the prison is called the reform or correctional facility to reform the consciousness. So all these things happen and we feel distressed and depressed. And so ultimately it is so that we can turn to Krishna and put an end to this kind of, what you can say, roller coaster ride that we are in. Going up and down like that, feeling happy, then distressed and happy. So roller coaster ride in the material world. Like somebody is getting a child, they're very, very happy. Oh, I'm getting a child, or I'm getting married, so happy. And then afterwards you get disease, and it's, oh, I'm very sorry, I got a disease. Like that. So it's like happiness goes up and down in this material world. And we are in this, we want steady happiness. We don't want this like up and down thing going on always. An ever changing material world. Sometimes there is honor, sometimes there is dishonor. That's why Krishna says, Siddhoshna Sukha Dukeshu, Tatha Mana Apamanayo. That's what Prabhu was saying. Shita and Ushna is on the platform of
Body,
Sukha and Dukha,
mind,
and Mana Apman on the platform of
ego.
So when we become steady, and we can only become steady when we don't identify with the body and we don't identify with the mind. Then only we can become steady. Otherwise, we are identifying, going up and down. So that's why many of Prabhupada's lectures are based on man, not the body. As soon as the person is awakened to pure knowledge of understanding that he is an eternal servitor of the Lord, his own real position is revived. A living entity can never be lost. When one forgets his identity in deep sleep, he becomes absorbed in dreams, and he may think himself a different person, or may think himself lost. So this material existence is like a dream-like state. We are going through this dream of identifying with this body and everything for a few years. Just as night dream is for a few hours. This dream is for a few like for a few years. This concept of being lost is due to false ego as it continues as long as one is not awakened to the sense of his existence as an eternal servitor of the Lord. So we have to come to the consciousness out of the bodily consciousness. Then we can actually, spiritual life begins when one is out of the bodily consciousness. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Shojati Nakangshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakti Labhate Param. So, as long as in the bodily conception of life, it is not pure devotional service. This concept of being lost is due to false ego, and it continues as long as one is not awakened to the sense of his existence as an eternal servitor of the Lord. Mayavadi philosopher's concept of becoming. So the dream continues as long as we are not in the Krishna consciousness. So the dream of identifying with the body continues in this material world. We are thinking that is like dream. Spiritual world is dream and this is reality. this is real, but this is actually dream and that is reality. It is also said this material world is the dream of Mahavishnu. Yoga Nidra is like that. So, but in this dream we can realize the reality. That's how. Mayavadi philosopher's concept of becoming one with the Supreme Lord is another symptom of being lost in false ego. So as soon as we accept that I am spirit soul, I have nothing to do in this material world, then we will focus only on Krishna consciousness. I have nothing to do in this material world, nothing to gain, nothing to lose, nothing to. Only reason I have got this human form of life is to become Krishna conscious. That's all. There is no other. There is no other plan. So somehow or other, yena kena prakarena, somehow or other, we have to become Krishna conscious. That's all. So we have to establish the goal. Why I am here, why I am in this body, what is the purpose of this life. Once that is established, then we can work, we can focus on the goal and work towards it. Like we establish goals, right, in our appraisal. So what are your goals for the next year? What are you planning to do? Like that. So once one may falsely claim that he is the Supreme Lord, but actually he is not. This is the last layer of Maya's influence upon the living entity. So we have come here to become God. But God will share with us more than Vaishnava philosophy means you can become greater than God, like you were saying. Bhakti Vashyata, Bhakta Vatsala. One can control the Lord, one can dominate the Lord. And Krishna has created this material world so we can live happily in Krishna consciousness and then go back to home, back to our. So this process of devotional service is a very happy process. Here also we can become Krishna conscious. The process of becoming Krishna conscious is also a very happy process. And after this life we go to eternal happiness. Of course, we read many verses from Mukunda Mala Sutra where the devotee doesn't want liberation. He just wants to serve Krishna. So, because it is the same whether you serve here or you serve there. It's not different. Devotional service is the same. And when one gets happiness, then to think oneself equal with the Supreme Lord or to think oneself with the Supreme Lord himself is also due to false ego. Okay.
And there is the medicine to, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, right, Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago. Like you have to wake up from this dream of, you identifying with this body. And I have brought the medicine of the holy name because you are suffering from this disease. So yesterday also he said a verse from Mukunda Mala so that we have this disease of birth and death. And the name of Krishna is the best medicine. And like even after your disease is cured, you continue to take the medicine because this medicine is like nectar. Like usually we stop taking the medicine, right? And the medicine is bitter also, but this Krishna Naam, Krishna Katha is like sweet, like nectar. So you continue to take it, and you can take this medicine in any dosage, anywhere, anytime. There is no rules in niyam. There is no niyams. What is that? Namakari Bhavana. Shakti. Tatrarpata niyamita smaranena kala.
It's not really a medicine because it's considered like medicine, but it is sweet. So because we are diseased, we think it's a medicine. Medicine in the sense it's bitter, but actually it is nectar only. Madhuram, what is that verse?
Madhura Madhure Devi Mangal. What?
Yeah, Madhuram, Madhure, Mangale, Jyoti, Mangalam, Pavanam, Pavane, Jyoti. It is Madhur, yeah, it's very sweet. But we are diseased, so it's appearing as medicine, which is bitter. But as the Nectar of Instruction, verse 7 says, like that, it's all very good, very nice, sweet. But we are diseased, that's why it's, yeah. Of course, it's medicine also because it cures us from the disease. So, and it appears like that. But in for the liberated soul, it's not like bitter, it's very sweet. Tunde tandavani ratim vidante tundavali ratai. So, yeah, as we chant very every day carefully, then it will become very sweet. Is that correct?
Yes. Even in the spiritual world, so that's why we say that the process and goal for us is the same. So even if we go back to the spiritual, we'll be glorifying Krishna, chanting his names.
Okay. Like gopis chant Hare Krishna, right? Somewhere Prabhupada says Krishna book. Chanting Hare Krishna.
Even Radharani, I've heard she's chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. For her, Hare means Hari. She's addressing,
Hare
she's taking all Krishna's names. For us, Hare is Radharani. Radharani also chants the Hare Krishna mantra.
Anybody else like to say anything? Acharya Prabhu is there.
No, Prabhuji. Yeah, I'm just hearing.
Anybody else? Okay. I'll read one. When by mature understanding one can realize his individuality, then the situation he accepts under false ego becomes manifest to him. The Mayavadi philosopher's position is that at the ultimate issue, the individual is lost. Everything becomes one, and there is no distinction between the knower, knowable, and knowledge. But by minute analysis, we can see that this is not correct. Individuality is never lost. Even when one thinks that the three different principles, namely the knower, knowable, and knowledge, are amalgamated or merged into one. The very concept that the three merge into one is another form of knowledge, and since the perceiver of knowledge still exists, how can one say that the knower, knowledge, and knowable have become one? So there is knower and knowable. Knowable is Krishna, knower is the soul. So Bhakti, Bhakta, and Bhagavan, they are three distinct things. They don't become one. The individual soul who is perceiving this knowledge still remains an individual. So we always retain our individuality. And Krishna wants to experience. He is what is it called? Akhila Rasa.
Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu.
All rasas he wants to experience, or he is the reservoir of all rasas. Yeah. So,
Akhila Rasamrita Murti.
yeah. So he is experiencing all different rasas. He wants to experience different rasas. That's why he has created all jivas. Like, yeah, we want to experience rasa also. Of different rasas are there, right? Of getting promoted in the job. There's some rasa you get out of it. From doing your work successfully, materially, innovating innovative something if you do, you get some kick out of it, right? Or there is some rasa in what you can say, in having different friends, in establishing a family. So all these rasas are there in Krishna. So he also wants to experience different rasa. Yeah. Say that. This is 7 primary rasas.
Right. So the 5 primary rasas are there. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, and besides that there is these 7 secondary rasas also, which we also see in the spiritual world. There is anger, wonder, comedy, chivalry, mercy, horror, ghastliness. Krishna wants to experience all these rasas.
Correct. Okay, so it is full of variety, and the jiva also experiences Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, and in that also there are different flavors. So everybody is experiencing rasa in the spiritual world. Just like here also, it's a variety, right? We eat this ice cream, then we eat that ice cream, and then we eat this and we eat that. Every day, different things. It's all about rasa. So in spiritual world also, it's full of variety. Prabhupada even said we can change our rasa. One time we want to do this for serve Krishna, and then next time we want to relate with Krishna in a different way. In one conversation. So it's, or even if it's in one rasa, he experiences newer and newer taste in that rasa. Otherwise, we may think, well, does Narottama Das Thakur not get bored just boiling milk every day for Radharani to offer to Krishna? So it's only one service he is doing all the time. But that service may give a lot of pleasure. And because every day is a new day, right? They don't remember. So it's like they are feeling it's fresh. So, like we are chanting Hare Krishna every day, the same mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. But we may be getting more taste. We may not be, but yeah, but there is something in this. So it's the same deity we are seeing, the same Bhagavatam, the same pastimes we are hearing again and again, same pastimes. So, but that is the proof that one is making spiritual advancement. When one hears the same, one chants the same mantra, and he feels very blissful. Or one reads the same Bhagavad Gita, and he feels nice. So, sometimes you may get bored. Yeah, I know this, I know this.
Yeah, I mean, Krishna's name and form and qualities and pastimes are not different from Krishna, right? So Krishna is ever youthful, ever fresh. So is his pastimes. And yeah, so many times we have heard these pastimes, but we need to, contemplate on them. And the devotees and the advanced devotees can visualize these pastimes and enter the pastimes like Raghunath Das is entering the pastime, getting remnants from Radharani, and yeah, like yesterday also that Brahmana who was doing it in his meditation, but he felt it on the physical plane. His hand got burnt. So there are different levels.
Of absorption. Like you were saying, Smaranatmika. Dasha, I think, where the network instruction in one works for other, right? It's different levels of remembrance of Krishna and absorption. So, yeah. The individual soul is pursuing this knowledge still remains an individual. So slowly and gradually we'll make advancement by the mercy of Krishna devotees. The individual soul is pursuing this knowledge still remains an individual. So This perceiving means somebody is there to perceive. Right? So both in material existence and spiritual existence, the individuality continues. The only difference is the quality of identity. In the material identity, the false ego acts, and because of false identification, one takes things to be different from what actually they are. That is the basic principle of conditional life. Similarly, when the false ego is purified, one takes everything in the right perspective. That is the state of liberation. It is said in Ishopanishad that everything belongs to the Lord. Ishavashimitam sarvam. Because we say, okay, this is my house, but who gave the ingredients to build the house? You didn't manufacture the ingredients to build the house. They were existing in nature provided by Krishna. And that's why if there was nothing, you couldn't even build a house. You can't even say that. So in that way, it's Krishna's, because he provided the ingredients. Like the example is given, if I give gold to a goldsmith to make a necklace, the goldsmith can't say it is my necklace. Oh, I made it. No, but the gold was provided by me. So in that way, ultimately all the ingredients are provided. And the intelligence to the architect and everybody is also provided by Krishna. So okay, you can say, well, the ingredients were there, but I get the credit for building the house because I am the architect. But who gave you the intelligence? Of course, that's the main thing, right? When we do something, whether we attribute it to Krishna or we think it's my own thing, that's the thing. That will distinguish whether you are spiritual consciousness or your material consciousness. If you think I did it, yes, I did this, then you are in material consciousness because the intelligence to do anything was given by Krishna. Of course, based on your desire, so in your karma. So Krishna gave the certain, he empowered, and because you wanted to feel independent, that you are doing it, so Krishna also gave you the false ego. So then that's how we think, yes, I'm doing everything, I'm the Prakriti Kriyamana. I'm the one. Of course, we are doers, but then you can say, oh, Krishna is doing everything when I do bad things also. Krishna is responsible. Why should I be responsible? Why should I suffer the results of my karma? Well, in the fact, actually the jiva can only desire. And based on desire, Krishna reciprocates and gives him the necessary intelligence to fulfill his desires. So we can only desire. But because we desire a certain way, that's why we are responsible. Because Krishna is going to fulfill our desires. So material world is also a reciprocation to our desires to enjoy separately from him. So he's kind. He wants to fulfill, but at the same time he wants to bring us close to him. So jiva can only desire, and that's what we say is our free will. Like Prabhupada was saying, free will. Devotee Srila Prabhupada, why God gave man free will if he knew the man would fall down in the material world? He's asking, why Krishna gave us the free will if you are going to fall down? Prabhupada, if you have no free will, then you are stone. The stone has no free will. You want to be stone? Then you must be. You must have free will, but don't misuse your free will. But don't try to become stone. That is not life. So also we say that, love can't be forced. So love has to. And that is the one thing that Krishna does not control. It's our desire. Yatha ichasi tatha kuru. You do what you want. I've told you everything. Bhagavad Gita. Now the onus is on you. What you want to do. I've given you all the knowledge and all the wisdom. Now you decide what you want to do. Tells Arjuna. So everything exists on the energy of the Supreme Lord. So everything belongs to the Supreme Lord. It is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Like Prabhupada says, we don't desire to go back home, back to Godhead. But Krishna is very eager to take us back home, back to Godhead. We don't desire. Most people don't desire to go back home, back to Godhead. So, because everything is produced of this energy and exists on his energy. The energy is not different from him. But still the Lord declares, I am not there. So our individuality remains. Individuality remains means our individual freedom remains of whether to love Krishna or not love Krishna. Otherwise, if there is no individuality, then everything is one. So Prabhupada says that individuality remains. Everything exists on the energy of the Supreme Lord. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Because everything is produced of His energy and exists on His energy. The energy is not different from Him. But still the Lord declares, I am not there. In the 9th chapter of Gita. I pervade in my impersonal form. As Paramatma is pervading everything. But in reality, he is in the spiritual sky, his plenary expansion as Paramatma is. When one clearly understands one's constitutional position, everything becomes manifest. False egoistic acceptance of things conditions one, whereas acceptance of things as they are makes one liberated. Sometimes we can say to Krishna, Krishna, I cannot take care of myself. You please take care. So be that surrender. Krishna, I am not so intelligent, I am not. So you take care of me. So that's also we are surrendering to Krishna. Krishna, you take the reins of the chariot of my life in your hands. Just like you have taken Arjuna's chariot's reins. So you take the reins of the chariot of my life in your hands and you drive it. So we are, that also is surrender, means you are willingly giving your consciousness to Krishna. Krishna, you please take. Krishna will not grab it unless we say, oh Krishna, you, I want to surrender to you. Sakrid eva prapannuya stavasmi kiche yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami mama. When one comes before the Supreme Lord and says once, Krishna, I am yours. That's the one we have to tell. Krishna, I want to surrender to you. You take charge of my life. Like that. So the example given, sometimes we have to tell Krishna, you protect me from myself. Because, yes, protect me from my mind. Krishna, you protect me. Because my mind is my own enemy. And my mind is the one. You protect me from me. Like that. Because all our the example given in the previous verse is applicable here to the absorption of one's identity in his money. When the money is lost, he thinks that he is also lost. That actually is not identical with the money, nor does the money belong to him. When the actual situation is revealed, we understand that the money does not belong to any individual person or living entity, nor is it produced by man. Ultimately, the money is the property of the Supreme Lord. Lakshmi is Krishna's. And there is no question of its being lost. But as long as one falsely thinks I am the enjoyer or I am the Lord, this concept of life continues and one remains conditioned. When death will come, then everything will be taken away. Everything will become meaningless. Your house and your everything. That doesn't make any sense because you have to go now. And so what is the need to worry about? Of course we worry about what will happen to my family, what will happen after I die, who will take care of them. But they will also die in due course of time. Nobody is going to survive. Death is certain. And who will take care of them? Well, Krishna is there to take care of everybody. So ultimately, we are dependent on Krishna. But we are thinking we are Krishna. That's why we are thinking what will happen after I leave? How will the world go on? Things have gone. Our grandfather may have passed away, or maybe some father also, mother may have passed away, but things are going on. If we pass away also, things will go on. nothing will happen. But Prabhupada says, don't worry too much about the material world. There's a quote like that. These rascals will do whatever they have to do in this world. You worry about your own Krishna consciousness and go back home, back to God. Don't think about this material world, right? Something. Of course, that doesn't mean we become insensitive and we share Krishna consciousness. We want to share with everybody. That's why Prabhupada came. But you can't change everything in this world. There's many leaders and fighting going on. This material world means always there will be fighting and things going on. So we can't change everything. We can change only if Krishna consciousness spreads. But what can we really do? So we have to, yeah. Yeah. What read that?
Sarpal was saying, I think I have explained it. Instead of contemplating what will happen to this world, you have got a short duration of life, say 50, 60 years. You chant Hare Krishna and go back home, back to Godhead. Don't consider what will happen to this world. The nature will take care of it. You don't puzzle your brain with these thoughts. You utilize whatever time you have got in your possession and go back to home, back to Godhead. You cannot check it. Best thing is that you mold your life and go back to home, back to Godhead. Oil in your own machine instead of thinking what will happen, because people will go on with their rascal civilization. Natural consequences will be there. You better take advantage of whatever time you have got and become fully Krishna conscious and go back to home. And we are thinking you are crazy, you are losing the opportunity of life. Therefore, I wrote that who's crazy? They have got this opportunity, human form of life, to make a solution of all problems, but they do not care for it. They simply allure the temporary happiness of this body, and the body will finish within some years. That they do not take care. They think it all in all body.
Everything is all in all this body. Yes. Okay. Any comments on that?
And make best use of the bad bargain also. Take
Yeah.
advantage of whatever situation Krishna has placed you to get closer to Krishna, and don't waste time.
I was reading where life is very short. We are not going to be around for long. So life is very short. So Prabhupada is many. One should not be very much interested in material enjoyment. Instead, one should be satisfied with whatever material profits are easily obtainable. Because the duration of one's life is very short, one should utilize every moment for spiritual advancement. So our life is very short. Here also is saying, Prabhupada says that you have got this 50, 60 years. Scary a little bit. You have got a short duration of life, 50, 60 years. Many people die in 60, right? So how many years more? 10, 20 years for those who feel in the 30s or 40s. But that also we don't know. So 50, 10, 20 years. And so much trouble for this 10, 20 years. You are doing so much endeavor and so much hard work and trying to, make your material life materially very nice and ritual. So, and then you say we don't have time to chant Hare Krishna, and we don't have time to associate with devotees and read the scriptures. So, things like that. The life duration is very short. Why you are so much so of course it's instruction to us. So every moment we should not make our life so complicated and something that we don't have time. So life is very short. Vasishtha therefore requested Maharaj Nimi to wait until Lord Indra's sacrifice was finished. But Maharaj Nimi did not wait. He thought life is very short, so there is no need to wait. Turnam yateta napateta nurutyu yavan. Death is behind you, it's very chasing you anytime. The cobra who is sitting next to you can bite you. That cobra is like death. We are watching television, but there's a cobra sitting next to us. and the cobra can any time bite you. He's looking at you, and you are looking at the television. And the television, something is going on the television. So you are not seeing the cobra that is sitting next to you. But the cobra has its eyes on you, and any time it can just bite. So you should think that death is just around the corner. It's coming. It's coming. Prabhupada says we should chant like as if death is coming, death is coming. And so then we will become very serious about our spiritual life. So, because it's so short time, right? I mean, time passes so fast. You all remember you were in school and how you whatever you did. So, time just passes. So, what is there to do in this temporary short life? That's Krishna consciousness. And we have to take care of our body and our needs, whatever. Prabhupada says, whatever is coming by the karma, you just accept it and don't. He therefore appointed another priest to perform the yajna. So Nimi Maharaj said, no, I will not wait till the sacrifice is finished. When Maharaj Nimi began, this is 9th canto, performing great sacrifice, he appointed Vashishta, but Vashishta refused. For he had already agreed to be priest in performing yajna for Lord Indra. Vashishta therefore requested Maharaj Nimi to wait until Lord Indra's sacrifice was finished, because Vashishta was occupied with performing Indra's sacrifice. But Maharaj Nimi did not wait. He thought life is very short, so therefore he did not. There is no need to wait till Vashishta becomes free. He therefore appointed another priest to perform the yajna. Of course, this is maybe different yuga, so the yajna was Vashishta was very angry at King Nimi and cursed him, saying, may your body fall down. Cursed in that way, Maharaj Nimi also became very angry. There was cursing and counter cursing. He was retaliating, may your body fall down. As a result of this cursing, both of them died. After this incident, Vashishta took birth, begotten by Mitra and Varuna. Okay, anyway, so Prayana Alpayusha Sabhya Kalavasvinikejana Andasumandamatayo. This is Mukundamala Stotra. The process of self-realization is very suitable for the fallen souls when life is short and people are slow in understanding. So we should not miss out. Continuously disturbed by material problems. And further it will decrease in Kali Yuga. Span of life will decrease further. These are all the symptoms in Kali Yuga. Let's see if there is. The Lord is never disturbed. Why shall he be disturbed? Just like we are in the material world, we are always disturbed in so many ways. The duration of life is short and we are always embarrassed with so many. That is another thing of Kali Yuga. We are always disturbed. Manda bhagya yupadruta. Political, social, religious, cultural and so many things. And family maintenance. Maintenance of family is more difficult than maintaining an empire. So that's in Kali Yuga life. Because we may not have enough money and it's very expensive to maintain a family. And sometimes there is one earning member and there are so many people dependent, and there may not be enough money to take care of the disease and all these things. So duration, if you get a long duration of life, then there is chance you may meet somebody. You may meet some good association that you can make the solution of your life. But that is also impossible now because of the duration. So if there is a short duration of life, we may not even meet the devotees. Because life, if there is long duration, there is a possibility that we may meet. But our duration of life is so short that we may not meet devotees also. So we are very fortunate that we have met. Human life is very short. We do not know when we shall die. Before that, we must prepare ourselves for the next life. Next life means directly going back to Krishna in his perfection. Okay, this is the theme. And in this short span of life, there are so many disturbances. Life is that short, at the same time, so much disturbed by anxiety, by disease, by natural disturbances. So, short life is also not very peaceful. That's the other problem. There is short life also, that there is so much disturbance. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday I was reading in Jad Bharat section, Canto 5, Chapter 14, where it was described the material world as the greatest forest of enjoyment. So, yeah, so in that, it's like, it's so many things, like, how it's described, where they describe that how the material world is like, right? And in that section, I think text 2 or 3, I mean starting sections are like that, the verses is saying like that, the in this material world the family members are like children and wives are considered as like tiger and jackals, right? And the man who's like, the initially in the Vedic times, in the ancient times, like the women and wives were dependent on the member, like husband and father. So how they are like, they are guarding the money, and all the is like they are very attached to the money and possessions, and the both like day and night they're just working and sucking their, like it's kind of like, they are doing hard work, is the same like um, is like a donkey, right? Who's carrying the load, and they're thinking that in the night, in evening I'll get the grass to eat. My master give you the grass. So in this material world, people are working very hard just to get us simple, minute pleasure, right? In the form of family, having wife, husband, and children, like that. But we don't think that it's like, every day our life is getting shorter, and it's taken away. Uh, but still, we are attached to the money and possessions and family members, and they are actually as a plunderers, is talking about that. And in that section also is talking about the six plunderers, that is five senses and including one mind, right? Um, one point I like that I don't find where I mentioned. I noted somewhere, but yeah, go ahead, Roji. I mean, it's a nice description about the material world, how the material world is like a forest of enjoyment, but actually in that forest we lost. We don't find the way how to get out of that forest, and that is the only way is once we take up the Krishna consciousness. As you said that everything, when I just read it other day, when I'll die, everything will be same. The world will go on your way. After some time, family members also uh, do their own thing. They will be busy. That's the nature of the world. Uh, but yeah, and what will happen with that soul who left the body, nobody knows it. So that soul has their own journey. Everybody has to go their own journey. I mean, people can walk with you, but nobody going to walk for you. So you have to walk your own journey.
You have to fly your own plane. That's
Right.
true. Yeah, that's there. And That's why we have to get rid of the non-essentials, whatever is not really required, or don't build up the non-essentials that is not really needed for. Because then what happens, you have so many things like in the house and so many things that you don't need, you have not used in 5 years, but you're not getting, and then it becomes like a burden on the whole, and then you keep cleaning the house and you move around things and like that. So you don't need it, throw it. You just don't buy it, right? Use that money for Krishna service. So like that, that's how, because when, let's say, if years, supposing we have to die in like 6 months or 1 year, will we make any plans that, okay, I have to go there, I have to do this? I'll just think like how I can, if you are spiritually minded, then you will think that, okay, this last 1 year I have in my life, how I can become more attached to Krishna. That's the main focus. That's where that will be coming at that time. If you are spiritually minded, of course, everything else will appear meaningless. Somebody says, you have 6 months more to live. Let's go to vacation in Hawaii. Only 6 months left. Why should I go there? The same way we should think like that. Why should I do that? Why should I do this? I have only short time left in my life. Why should I go? Why should I do this? I don't really need this. So in this way, we can cut out many things in our life which are non-essentials. Only when we say that yes, I have less time to stay around. So that's the that's the situation in which we can make spiritual advance. So Chanakya Pandit says like that, if you want to make spiritual advancement, you should think that death is coming very close. If you want to make material advancement, then you should think that you will live forever. Because then in that material advancement, yeah.
No, Prabhu, go ahead. Continue.
No,
Complete thought.
no, that's the thought. A person who gives up the eternal.
Ultimately. Yeah. And I also was thinking, as Preeti was saying, about the relationships that the relationships will not endure as we come out of this body. All the relationships will break. Nobody will come with us. They can only come to till our grave, right? In that story of man with 4 wives, the family and relatives can only come up to the grave. But if we serve others, of course, we have to serve our family members, have affection for them, but we need to keep Krishna in the center. That, they are Krishna's children, so I'm serving them. So everything becomes Krishna conscious then. It becomes bhakti. Otherwise, whatever we have done for others, they might not be able to help us. So we do it for Krishna. Everything we are doing it for Krishna.
Yeah, if you're Grihastha, then your family, then you see as your family, as your Krishnas. And sannyasi sees the whole world as the family also. This is Vasudeva Kutumbikam. Everybody is Krishna's part and parcel. So, like that. Everybody ultimately.
And Prabhuji, that you shared that someone knows there is only say some time left in the life, say 1 year or maybe 6 months. So I believe when situation is like that, meaning definitely there is a clear, I think the say 1 year or 6 months in as compared to someone knows this life is short, right? Because when someone knows 6 months, which is going to happen for sure, then that probably that made that person very serious. As compared to person knows life is short and death can come anytime, then the person may become complacent. Okay, anyway, it may come anytime, but unless that 6 months or whatever the time is, right, that definite. So when it really happens, then usually that person start thinking very seriously.
Prabhupada would say like that Parikshit Maharaj maybe give you 7 days, but we don't even know if you have 7 seconds. Right, like that. He would say, so how much serious we should become. Of course, he was trying to make us serious. And we also believe that, yeah, it's not going to happen. Right? In the back of our mind, that's Seshastvaram Ichanti. What is that word? Seshastvaram Ichanti.
Ahani ahani bhutan gachanti yamalim. Sheshasthavar ichanti kimascharitaparam.
Yeah, it happened to that person. It's not going to happen to me. Like that. That somehow that thing is very
Yeah.
strong. Yeah.
And even the other thing, I think, like, even the sole reason, say, I'm not saying we, but at least me, I'm here in US because definitely material attraction for the dollar, US dollar. So that's why I'm here physically now, for many years. uh, so, but for example, if even if I take a situation like, say, if my Guru Maharaj comes to today and say, okay, now for this service you have to go to China, then I'm still thinking, will I be able to do it? I may think twice, many times, right? So that's what the condition is. So even if situation come, even on the spiritual front, someone says, okay, now maybe in 1 week you have to leave this US and go to China or any place. China is just an example, by the way, or maybe Afghanistan, right? Then will I leave? I will think twice, thrice, 100 times what will happen, this and that. And that's where we can experience like our attachment, how strong those are. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's the Kailash story. Now we come to chant Hare Krishna. I have this thing going on. Here also, a big story. No. So, yeah. So we are not willing to relinquish like that. So, and surrender. So that's right. But I find US also in some ways good to practice spiritual life. Gauranga Prabhu was saying one time in his class that in US you have a nice thing you can, maybe if you're in a big city like Los Angeles or something, it may be difficult to go to temple. But in India, it's you're living somewhere, you go to temple, unless you're very close to temple and you can hear from devotees there. But now we have internet, but still being in physical presence is very. So he was saying that, yeah, it's, in one sense, yeah, there is not much social intervention, and you can travel any place. Like Columbus, you can go to temple in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. There's some other place. Of course, it all depends in the city you live, but it's comparatively easier. Life is not so. I mean, you make enough generally to sustain yourself. That's why the standard of life. There's not too much. Of course, if you are very austere, you can live and make spiritual advancement anywhere. But maybe if you are not used to so much austerity, here it's comfortable. You can chant Hare Krishna. You can do that also. He was saying. So in India also the environment is not like very conducive in big cities. If you go, it's everywhere. It's a struggle for existence so much, and there is all these billboards and so many things going on. Bollywood songs and everywhere. It's meat eating is also going on, and so many things are going on. Television and so many different allurements are there. I think it's almost like here. All the facilities we have here are also now we get there. Only thing is infrastructure is not there. So, but
Population, Prabhuji. Population also.
Population.
So crowded.
Okay, so in one way, it depends on your conditioning and your thought process and how what your thinking is. I cannot say for everybody. He was saying like that. So, like there is this Radha Gopinath temple right in Bombay, but to go there, if you are living, you have to sometimes change a train and this, and or in Delhi, if you want to go to some temple, then you have to like the rickshaw and then so much traffic. Which may be true here also in cities like Chicago and Los Angeles. But other places, yeah, you can go. Of course, it is not ultimately, it's all material considerations. If you want to become Krishna conscious, you can be Krishna conscious anywhere. And, sometimes, even with all the facilities, we may not be Krishna conscious. So, the desire, if this desire is there, we can be Krishna conscious anywhere, in any situation. So, okay, I'll finish this. It's already 8:30. Ultimately, the money is the property of the Supreme Lord, and there is no question of its being lost. But as long as one falsely thinks I am danger or I am the Lord, this concept of life continues and only remains conditioned. As soon as this false ego is eliminated, one is liberated as confirmed in Bhagavatam. The situation of one's real constitutional position is called Mukti or liberation. Mukti itva anyatha rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. So that's the verse. Okay.